Hello, my name is Kathleen Hicks, and I am in Dr. Martin's ECE 525 course at Grand Canyon University. I am posting this video as part of our week 4 project of professional dispositions. I'm going to be talking about a couple of things. There's like 4 points that I will be discussing, starting with the dispositions that I have, or I feel that I have, that are helpful in my classroom, some that I need to get or work on in order to be a better teacher and more successful in a classroom setting. I also want to talk about how to build stronger relationships with children and families. And I also want to talk about how new teachers like myself can use positive or creative criticism and feedback about what we can do to help future classes that we may teach. So here we go. All right, so personally, I feel that one of the strongest dispositions I have is my patience. I love to let the kids kind of take a moment and think about things as we are learning them. I try to, if I call on a particular student, I try to ask all the other kids to not talk and overstep that child, that moment, their spotlight moment, if you will, of that they may not get without being called on because they're more quiet or shy. I also feel that I'm very caring in the means that I love and cherish each one of my kids. I respect them. I want to learn about their families. I want them to know that they're somebody. They're not just another child at a desk. They are somebody in my mind. And I care about them. So I ask them about their families, their dogs, things like that. I do know that I need to work on my reflective process of how things work, how they didn't work, what can I do differently. And to piggyback off of that, my consistency in a classroom is not the best. I follow the schedule and I can stay pretty on point with the timing of everything. But if I notice that Monday my group A didn't learn well with the project that I had them working on, so when group 2 goes to do the same activity, I might switch it up and teach it in a different manner, which doesn't really work as a whole because then I can never learn which students learn from which teaching manner. So if I have manipulatives out on Monday and if I put them away by Wednesday, group 3 I'll never know if they learn that standard with the manipulatives or if they would learn it better with an audio visual tool or something like that. So I'm going to work hard to, instead of changing things up day by day, teach the standard the same way to all the children throughout the week. And then the next week when we go to review, teach it or reteach it in a different manner and review it in a different way to see which students learn better between the two ways of teaching. Communication is number one in bridging the gap between parents and teachers for the best interest of the child. So I feel that in order to build the strong relationships with our families and our students, we have to be open to listen to what they have to say, whether we like it, agree with it, or even really if we want to hear it. There have been so many times where I have seen parents kind of shut down and back off of talking to teachers because when they came to a teacher just out of the blue for no reason at all about a personal thing where they tried to be, I guess it was like an awkward social moment for the parent, and they were trying to just communicate with a teacher in some way to just kind of break the ice. And I've seen teachers not respond well to that. I feel that in order to keep the line of communication open, teachers should always be willing to listen to parents. And if it's something that's totally inappropriate for school, yes, stop the conversation and move right along. Or just say, oh, well, we can talk about that later, but for right now, I only wanted to talk to you about how Johnny's behavior was yesterday, or something along those lines. Definitely when presenting anything to a parent, if there is something negative, try to sandwich. So the good, the not so good, and then definitely good on the end. That way they're not like, oh, okay, my little Johnny's that child. And you never want parents to think that their child is a problem in the classroom, that they're a problem by communicating with a teacher. We also don't want to have any biases or bridge divides between the kids. So I like to feel that all of my students are equal, all of my parents are equal, everyone is always welcome in my classroom and appreciated and respected in the same manner. Another thing that I think helps new teachers like myself is the not only the data of student performance, of learning, what helped each student to learn and what standards they're learning and how they learned those standards, but also observations. When other teachers or administration comes in to observe you and gives you the feedback, that is a great way to notice or pick up on something that you may not have seen, or learn that you were lacking in one area but you succeeded really well in an area that you thought you were struggling. The same with annual review performance evaluations. When you go and sit down with the principal at the end of the year and they say, okay, what did you feel went well and what did you feel you can work on? You may have a completely backwards view of what outsiders looking in. So like I said, I think I have really good patience. My principal or coworkers might say, yeah, you got good patience, but you were better, your communication with the kids was better, or the way you handled respect in your classroom was way up here when you thought it was kind of borderline and you weren't sure where you were. So definitely taking all of that feedback into account going into future classrooms is a wonderful, wonderful way, like I said, for teachers like myself and even older teachers who are vetted. It is a great way just to get that feedback and say, okay, I can change that or I can work on it. And wow, thank you for telling me that I did really well at that because I thought I was struggling so hard. So that's, like I said, that's what I've gone. I think I've gone a little bit over my time, but I do appreciate you for watching, and I hope I have hit every detail, and I hope that gave you a little bit of insight into me. Again, this is Kathleen Hicks in Dr. Martin's class with Grand Canyon University for the course of ECE 525, and this was my professional dispositions video. Thank you.